Alec, how is it going?
Oh, it's going. It's going
Gotta go
fast.
fast,
It's
yes.
going really fast, high speeds in and out of theaters. Uh, which isn't actually fair to say that because it did extremely well in theaters. So it's not going to be fast out of theaters, I don't think.
Hmm.
But
Alex, start me off. Give me one sentence of what you think of this movie.
Sonic the Hedgehog is I'm gonna wait till we get the plane going by your house. Stop. There we go. It's done. Sonic the Hedgehog is a far better movie than it has any right to be. That's my one sentence summation of what I
Yeah.
think about Sonic the Hedgehog. Really, I
Okay.
mean,
Well, again,
how about you?
let me
Do you have
tell
a
you, I
one
feel like
sentence?
I'm living in an alternate reality because I hated this movie. I hated this
Really?
movie, and I came out
Why?
and everybody liked this movie, and I'm like, I don't know why. So
Why?
please
Why?
tell me why. Why should I like this movie?
This movie is just as a movie as Detective Pikachu. There's nothing in this movie that horribly awkward or cringe or bad as like any other kids movie. We saw Doolittle.
Yeah,
That movie was awful.
yeah, and
This
I'm
movie
right.
is this movie is nowhere near that bad. And in fact, I would say that this movie is actually good. I would not say it is great. I would not say it is exceptional. I would not say it is much more than slightly above average, but I enjoyed myself and I felt like it was a good movie, which I did not expect to say
This is
leaving the
wild.
theater.
This is wild.
Yeah, I didn't expect this.
I can't believe I'm in the minority in this. I came out of that movie and I checked the internet and I was like, oh no,
No, everybody likes this movie, and I can totally understand why.
I can't.
It's
I don't get it.
it's just an enjoyable, solid, fun
I
adventure.
hate Sonic. First of all,
Why?
I hated
He's so
Sonic.
charming.
How is he
He's
charming?
he's okay. It's all down to the voice acting. Ben Schwartz should not be a likable Sonic the Hedgehog character, except the fact that he brings so much earnestness in that role that it's likable. Now, I'm not going to say not every single joke lands. There's a lot of juvenile humor in this. This is definitely feels like there are moments in this where the humor was like Doolittle levels of like grown worthy. I will admit that because there were parts where I was just like, oh, just get over the jokes. All right, we get it. But there's so much like heart and charm in his like earnestness. It's like it's all if it wasn't Ben Schwartz, I don't know if this movie would have worked. I thought his performance was excellent. He wasn't like it felt like not like the attitude sort of Sonic that you kind of get from like the Dreamcast era, where he's kind of a jerk, or like even there are some actual in the more modern portrayals of Sonic where he comes across more of a jerk. It's a little bit more he's just earnest and he's got high energy. There's different modes of Sonic. There's a serious kind of side. There's the like wacky, goofy, high energy, cracking jokes a mile a minute side, and then there's kind of a uh, like a buddy buddy side, or like a Quicksilver. The Quicksilver superhero part. This is basically a superhero movie. This movie should be awful, but I have this movie's good. I'm shocked as you are, and I know you're shocked because you hate it and everyone else likes it.
Come
But
on.
I don't know. I have this movie does not deserve hate at all. It's like it's not bad enough to like warrant it. Um, I mean it's not good enough to warrant like tons and tons of praise, but it works and it sets itself up for sequels incredibly well. Also, I will say.
Hmm.
Also, Jim Carrey is just what a treat to see him goofing around again. You know, you can tell he's just having a blast, and that's to the movie's credit, I think. But no. Let's hear it. Let's pour on the hate. Pour on the.
I
Let's
don't
see.
want to pour on
I want to
hate.
hear. I want. I no no. But I want to hear
I
why
don't
you
live.
really didn't enjoy
I
it.
don't live to hate. I felt as I was watching it exactly what you're saying. The cringy. I thought it was cringy. 80% of the movie. I hated Sonic. I hated his dial. I hate everything he said.
It's
Uh,
are you just predisposed to hate Sonic though? That's kind of an actual honest question.
no,
Do you not like Sonic the Hedgehog? Just in general.
I do not like this Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't.
What what Sonic the Hedgehog do you
I don't
like?
have anything
That's
against Sonic the
actual question.
Hedgehog. I like Sonic the Hedgehog from the Saturday morning cartoon. That's what I like.
This one reminds me most of the Saturday morning cartoon as opposed to anything else.
Sure, sure, okay. So, walk me through the owl people. Why are there owl people? Like, Longclaw, is that a thing?
So there's a lot of like theoretical. I don't think that's supposed to be Longclaw. I don't really
He
know.
said
That
Longclaw.
stuff is like, did it say Longclaw?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of came in the movie like when that stuff was happening. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. But whatever.
Hmm.
I mean, that stuff was that's the beginning of the movie is really cool though. I like the stuff in like the Sonic world. That stuff was pretty rad. It looked really cool too.
Well,
Like it just
um, they did the trope in the beginning where you the rewind again. We just talked about Birds of Prey where they did it, where we literally showed him at what ends up being the end of the movie, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder how you thought." It was almost like a record scratch moment. It's like, I bet you're wondering how I how I ended up here,
yeah.
and
I mean,
then
basically, yeah.
but then it had Sonic narration, which I was like, okay, I said this before. I'm not really a fan of narration things, and then I felt like,
See, I didn't come in during that part. Like I came in after that. It was during like the before he gets to Earth type stuff. It was like just before that is when I
mm,
came in, and he I don't remember there being much narration throughout the rest of the movie, so I didn't even know the movie did that. That's a little annoying. I'll grant you that. But the fact that I didn't even know that the movie does that until the end, until like he gets to that part again where he was just like, and we're caught up again. I was like, oh, he must have done like a little thing at the beginning. That was the first I knew about it. He didn't
yeah.
that didn't happen throughout the rest of the movie. So that wasn't overplayed, I didn't think.
Okay, so I generally just don't like the fish out of water storyline unless it's done really well, and
But
and I just find
but
it kind of like in your face, like
but the thing is, for a fantasy story, I mean, like, what else are you gonna do? I'm not saying you can't get creative with it, but fish out of water is basically like a proven storyline trope that just works. I mean, if you're an unusual or strange character in an unfamiliar world, the audience isn't like it will. It's hard to bridge the gap of understanding of the world if all the characters already understand that Sonic the Hedgehog is just a normal character in this world. It would be weird. It would be strange. It would be like the Dreamcast Sonic games where it's just like Sonic's running around and there's humans and that's all normal and it's just like it just looks weird and strange and it kind of makes you go like, huh? Like why how and why? And it's just is strange. There's a strange disconnect with that. And having it set up as like he's from an alternate dimension or like a different like world, like basically he's an alien more or less, makes the most sense for a story like this. If you're going to do a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, it's got to be a fish out of water thing or else it's just going to completely like it's going to Dr. Doolittle it, where animals will just be talking. And, oh, well, Dr. Doolittle can understand animals. It's like, okay, that's the thing in the story. I get that. Then, like, they're using modern slang, and it really takes you out of the movie. And it's just, no, I think, I mean, it can be seen as kind of a lazy, just, oh, they're just relying on the fish out of water thing. But, like, it's just a storytelling thing that works in movies like this.
hmm.
Yes, it's been played out tons over the years, and certain movies do it better. I don't think this movie did it particularly well, but I don't think it did it very poorly either. This is definitely like pretty baseline average. It did a decent enough job. It worked.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think like something like Detective Pikachu worked better for me because that was its own world, whereas this is just kind of Earth with Sonic in it. Like Detective Pikachu had a lot more integrated into it to make it.
Well, that's also because you also had tons of different Pokemon in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So because you have all of these CG monsters roaming around the world, it works a little more with the whole dynamic because that's normal for the world. It's just not normal that they talk in actual English.
Yeah.
Um,
So I wasn't a big fan of the characters in general. I didn't like the generic military people.
they were
Um,
in the movie for like 3 minutes, maybe.
Jim Carrey as Eggman is fine, but I feel like
I thought he was great,
Jim Carrey can do that role in his sleep though. That's just Jim Carrey.
but he hasn't. When's the last time he did a role like that?
Years, but that's just second nature to him.
Yeah, like 15, 20 years ago. You
That's
you
Jim
can say
Carrey.
you can say it's second nature, but like when you haven't been doing that role in a long time, I don't buy this necessarily that it's just second nature. Also, Jim Carrey's like kind of like a total weirdo these days. I don't know if you've heard about like stuff he's like an anti-vaxxer and stuff like that. He's a very bizarre person. Um, but so maybe that's helped. Maybe being a weirdo in real life has actually helped him bring some of that
Right.
wacky charm to the screen again.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
I love Jim
I thought he
Carrey.
was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I thought he was great.
Also, I didn't appreciate. I don't understand why Sonic felt the need for Tom. Like Tom really shamed, or Sonic really shamed Tom for wanting to move out. Like, no, you have to live in this Green Hill area forever. I felt like it was a perfectly reasonable decision for him to be like, I want to do something more, and just move out to Los Angeles or something. You know, not just be
San Francisco.
San Francisco and not just be miserable in this town all my life. But then Sonic like shames him. He's like, "How could you do that, man?" And he was like,
But he didn't
it made
really.
it seem
But he
like it
didn't
was an
really listen.
awful.
Yeah, but I mean, the movie at that point, like, I don't think I will agree with you. That's like, yeah, that's kind of a crap thing to do, Sonic. Jeez, but I don't think the movie portrays what he does as a bad thing because like he still is going out there. I mean, ultimately, yes, he does make the decision to stay in his hometown, but it's more because of the adventure. It wasn't because Sonic was like, "Wow, what a terrible thing to do! You can't leave Green Hills. You get all the legacy and everything." But it's like it was
They call
more,
you.
huh?
They call you.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have a choice. He's the only dude there, but he's just miserable
Ki-
there. You gotta have some sort of a mental health, you know. You need
yeah.
to be happy yourself.
But he finds a newfound appreciation for the small town he takes care of. And you know what? I live in a small town, and I
Hmm.
I liked a nice portrayal of a small town. I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's like a weird thing in movies where either they portray I find it more frequent that they're portraying city life as overly glamorized and people who live in the country as like backwoods. That to me happens a lot more often. It's another weird
Yeah.
thing that happens sometimes when it's almost portrayed as like, oh, it's so much they're like it's like a city on a hill. They're just so much out in the country. We're just so much more above those city folk. And I felt like this movie skirts the line there where it doesn't really portray as one is better than the other, but it's a
Hmm.
nice like it's almost like a nice positive portrayal of both.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I kind of like that.
Also, I
It's like,
hate.
yeah,
I mean, I hate the slow mo scenes. By the way, I hated it in the trailer. I hated it in here, where whenever it's like, um, especially
I'm
the
glad it
one.
just didn't. I'm glad it didn't just come out of nowhere, though. I'm glad it was a thing that happened multiple times. So that's basically his superpower. That's what I'm saying. In that this is essentially a superhero film. He's basically Quicksilver, or Flash, I guess, because he's reading Flash comics. So,
Yeah, but has that ever
um,
been how Sonic worked, where it's like all happens in an instant? Like,
but it's a movie. They can
yeah,
they can do whatever they want with a character in the movie.
I just feel like that was so random. Like the whole bar scene where he just like does all the shenanigans to everybody, and then it's just like snap, time's back. It's like almost like he paused time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of the bullet. The whole when there's like tons of bullets coming. And
Oh, the missiles.
yeah, the missiles. The bar scene with the guy who really wanted to do hate crime on the hipsters was interesting as well. That guy just really hated hipsters, and he wanted to just murder his hipsters.
You're hipsters.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, see, there's a backwoods thing that was okay in my book because it was funny. But yeah, that was. I mean, it was weird.
I just
Well,
didn't.
the movie kind of slows.
I didn't get it. I didn't like enjoy any of the comedy from it.
I mean, like I said, the comedy doesn't always hit for sure. I mean, you have to. It is pretty broad, I would say overall, the comedy, and at times fairly juvenile. Which is like it's fine. I mean, I find juvenile humor it tickles me funny bone. But yeah, I agree that it doesn't always land. I like that one. I don't know. I laughed at that for what it's worth. But yeah, most of like some of the other stuff didn't really work. Some of the I don't know. They were just like some offhanded jokes that just didn't work for me. Also, really weird product placement that I loved because it felt like a YouTube video, like product placement.
Yeah.
Where like they just like were there Olive Garden. Yeah, that all you
Yeah,
that all you can eat pasta bowls. I was like, what? What is this movie? That made me laugh because of how weird it was. It's almost like the movie's like, yeah, we got sponsors from Olive Garden. How are we gonna fit it in the movie? Like, let's just be as brazen about it as possible. So, and I like that in terms of like a really like or not self-aggrandizing, but self-deprecating type of. It's like, yeah, we took Olive Garden's money, and yeah, we are using advertising their all-you-can-eat pasta bowls, which are dope.
What was the name of Tom's woman?
Oh, they said it a few times, so I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, her. How about her sister? She was just. First of all, she was like just.
She's just minding her own business.
She was an awful person. First of all, because she was like.
Yeah.
She wanted nothing to do with him, and then.
You need to divorce him. Divorce Tom.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Tom's such a wholesome person. He's such a nice human being.
And then her sister, Tom's
sister-in-law.
wife. Yeah.
Tom's sister.
Well, no, I mean, Tom's
wife
clearly didn't care about her at all because they literally tied her up, stole her car, and then her own daughter did not even want to untie her. So I was like, wow.
Well, I guess for her complete hate and disregard for our heroes, she got what she deserved, which I guess was being tied up in her own home and her car being stolen.
Oh yeah, I wrote a quote from the whole Sonic exchange when he was mad at Tom. By the way, he had this. Of course, he had this stupid comment about. I was forced from my home. Your home is perfect, and you're leaving it. Why? He had this all while they're in the car and being attacked by stuff. I'm like, of course, at the most worst time possible, he's having this conversation. And then I didn't understand why Tom felt the need to switch places with Sonic and have him drive while he went out to the window to like try to hit this thing. I was like, why didn't you just have Sonic take care of the drone or whatever it was?
Because he's
driving.
Because he's Cop Man.
He's Cop Man, but Sonic clearly he's like, why don't you just roll up into a ball and hit it? We didn't see that. You could do that. It was a really weird scene to me, but yeah, I just thought that was a little much. It
was a play up on the whole buddy cop stuff. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's nice to have someone other than just Sonic doing everything. Also, having Sonic drive the car was like one of when they were going to the American Tower was like one of my favorite things. It was just like, why did we have him drive the car? Yeah, they even pointed out, they're like, why did we have him drive the car? Yeah.
But like the resolution of the movie is that Tom gives up on his dreams and stays at the town he wanted to leave. And
Does he
then
give up on his
he gave
dreams?
up, and then
He didn't just give up.
Sonic's their child now. That's great.
Yeah, kind
It's
of. It
kind of
was
like
kind of sweet.
Stranger
He
Things.
found
It's
he
like
found
Stranger Things where they when he had Elle like in her own little spot in their basement. They set
he
up
found
their own little thing.
a newfound appreciation for life, new things to love and cherish, and to
Like
care
Sonic.
about in his own hometown. Sonic helped him have a fuller understanding of the world.
Hmm.
It was sappy. It's been done many times before, but it was kind of nice, and I liked it.
I wish I could like this movie. I wish I could be a part
I
of this
wish I
party.
wish I wish you could like it too because it was very fun and I really enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. So,
Right.
um,
Also, was that not a ridiculous scene where he got shot by the tranquilizer gun, and then
and did
he's
he get hit in the leg?
but then he wakes, or like he's reading the shirt. Everything was just a perfect accident that he's like San Francisco, drops the ring opens up, he drops his bag of rings into it, lands on the top of the building. Like wow, that all just happened right now. Okay.
Yeah, because he had the America Tower, or the Pan America, or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
I,
what
I
a
don't know. I don't know things.
crazy coincidence. That was the exact place he wanted to go, and they had to go there anyway. But it was wild.
He had to go there. I mean, they went there because the rings were there.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
wanted that was like the place that Tom wanted to go. I commented on even
Was
earlier.
that is that the police station of San
But it
Francisco?
was San Francisco.
Sure, because he was wearing a San Francisco
But I
shirt.
commented on
Because
it
he's
earlier.
like,
I'm like, why are you're not that hardcore of a San Francisco fan? Why are you wearing? You
apparently,
have to be wearing a shirt.
no, apparently he was. He was really getting hyped to move.
Like
So
I don't think I would wear a shirt of the place I want to go to. Like I don't think that's a thing.
yeah, I mean, sure, it's maybe a little too clever for its own good, but
I mean, I did like some of Robotnik's lines where it's like, the Tom was like, "I was breastfed," and he's like, "Way to rub that in my
oh
open
yeah,
face."
yeah, I love that. That was that was
What
just
the
so strange. It was like I love that. Actually, I was breastfed. Yeah,
Way to rub that in my
yeah.
open
Jim
face.
Carrey was just like, yeah, Jim Carrey was just eating, chewing the scenery and having a blast. And so sequel bait.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to that. 'Cause that'll be fun.
So what's the next movie called?
so, yeah.
Tails.
Sonic and Tails, maybe.
Just
So-
Tails.
so
It's
just Sonic and-
it's just Tails. It's gonna be everything that brings Tails up to that moment. It's gonna have his backstory.
So there's no way they'll call the movie Miles Tales per Hour
Mm-hmm.
or Tails the Fox because I mean that has like no marketing behind it. It's got to be Sonic. It'd be Sonic and Tails or something
It's
like
gonna
that.
be
Or
the Sonic Cinematic Universe. They're gonna have each character's backstory.
Well, haven't they talked about a Detective Pikachu cinematic or Pokemon cinematic universe in the Detective Pikachu sort of thing?
Oh really?
They've talked about that
Hmm.
vaguely, yeah. The producer behind that had said stuff about that. So because they've already started work on Detective Pikachu too. So
This was the biggest video game movie opening in history.
Yeah.
Wild.
it did extremely well.
Meow.
Which is it's kind of nice just for the fact that after that huge backlash online, fans put their money where their mouth was, and they went and they saw this movie. And I think I think the word of mouth will help this movie a little bit too. It has more legs than just the first weekend, I think.
I can't imagine what Tails looked like originally. And they had to change him real quick.
Now that's actually a question. Do you think Tails had a bad design too, or do you think that was they hadn't finished the effects on him yet, so maybe they didn't even have a design yet?
They probably didn't even have,
Or that's my guess, and then they just decided to go with the I can't remember the designer, the guy who's behind the Sonic Mania stuff. They just like, yeah, I'll just use the original Tails design. That's basically what they did.
Yeah.
They hardly changed him at all, and he looked amazing.
Yeah, I thought Tails looked better than Sonic, honestly.
Yeah. Well, they have Well, here's the thing: they have less screen time with him, so they're able to. He gets what, like
Yeah.
15 seconds of screen time, so they're able to do whatever they want with him to make him
Also,
look good. Oh.
so isn't that really dirty how they teased the actual Robotnik look from Jim Carrey? They teased it in the trailer, and it ended
Yeah,
up
well,
just being a tease at the end.
that's why you don't. That's why trailers suck, because they gave that away. They shouldn't have done that.
But I thought like he was gonna.
Totally spoiled it.
I thought he was gonna be that like for the majority of the movie. I thought that's why they showed it.
I didn't.
They showed it in the
I
trailer.
knew he wouldn't be that in the majority of the movie, but I thought it was going to be like a descent into that, and it was. It's just him taking on that design was at the very end of the movie,
Yeah.
which is weird. I don't know, but
Right. He still. I
for
still
what it's
not.
worth,
He still definitely stole from that rubber band gift shop. By the way,
oh yeah, totally,
I'm like, this is our hero.
yeah, he 100% did. I mean, he stole all those other things. He's living in a cave. He stole those Flash comics. You can't tell me he paid for those or like any of the other stuff in his cave.
And he just stalks people in the beginning of the movie. That's just what he does. He's just
Yeah, it's just really
creeps on
creepy and it's
people.
kind of yeah, it's really funny. It's the Blue Devil. Also, Sanic in this movie. Sanic showing up in that and Old Man, whatever his name's.
Yeah.
That was great. I like that.
I never
I like the
expected.
little.
I never expected the Sonic is lonely, like that being the crux of the film. You know, I didn't expect that to be the main.
Me either. I actually that was a nice, pleasant surprise for me because I thought it was just gonna be like, yeah, I'm awesome, and then it's just like him causing mayhem. It's like no, Sonic like felt like an actual character, which was. I mean, I know you say you hate him, but I really like that he felt like an actual person, a character you can understand and care in a very superficial, this is a kids movie kind of way, and I like that.
Okay, so are we ready for scores? Anything else?
Yes. So a lot of great Easter eggs in this film, but did you catch what the TV said before it was like Tom, this man's on the loose? Did you catch what the headline on the TV said?
I'm not
Because
not
I
sure
couldn't stop
offhand.
because I couldn't stop laughing. It was something like uh, nation in uproar over a controversial new coffee tax or something. It was just like so random that I was like that's amazing. And they didn't pay. It was because it was like in focus for a little bit during in that one shot where it was yeah, I don't know. It was very,
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
yeah. I was pretty sure that I saw the Naked Gun on the TV at one point too. It was there for like 2 seconds. I'm like, that was at least
Yeah,
I at least saw Leslie
I think you're
Nielsen
right.
in there. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
really threw in an obscure one in there. But
Mm.
okay, so scores
I'm gonna give this movie a 7.
7.
I thought it was a really solid film. It's not great. It's not terrible.
So not as
It's
good, not as good as
a
Detective
good movie.
Pikachu.
No, I probably wouldn't say that. What did I give Detective Pikachu? 7.5.
I thought I know I
It's
gave it
it,
that. I don't know what you.
it's between a 7 and a 7.5 for me. I think if because the pacing was a little weird. I think if the humor was a little bit more on point, and if because I mean the movie, like I said, the pacing's not great, but the movie doesn't, it's not a chore to get through. The movie like is in and out, and it's like, oh, this was a decently nice, wasn't overly blown out of proportion long movie. It was just a nice,
Hmm.
not even 2 hour film. I'm in between a 7 and a 7.5. I think I'll stick with a 7. I think I like Detective Pikachu more. I think the humor works better in that film for one thing,
Hmm.
but um, because I mean you have Ryan Reynolds as basically a lead. In this, you do have Ben Schwartz, and he's great, and he's fantastic, and I like him a lot. But the humor and the script writing wasn't as solid there. And then Jim Carrey, the other comedic lead, is not as prominent in the film. So,
Yeah.
um,
All right. I would give it a 5. 5 out of 10. Um,
Doing it dirty, man.
I
Doing it
mean,
dirty.
that's just giving it the benefit of the doubt because I have to watch this movie again and try to understand what's going on here. But I
I'll raise
didn't.
its average. I'll give it a 7.5. I want
You
to raise
can't.
that
I'm
average.
going down to a
Okay,
4.
fine. Okay. Oh, okay. We'll F you then. Okay,
I
fine. We'll
gave
stick
it.
with a 7 and a 5.
I came into this thinking 4. I'm giving it a 5.
Okay. 6 ain't so bad, I guess, as a Tarqaron
6
score.
as a Tarqaron score. That's worse than Lion King. That sounds about right. Uh,
That's pretty. Is it? It's worse than Lion King. Jeez, you guys are horrible opinions.
you barely have this above Lion King, so I mean I just didn't enjoy any of the comedy. I didn't enjoy Sonic. I did. I didn't enjoy the story. I didn't enjoy the owl people. I didn't enjoy.
We were in the movie for probably 2 minutes,
I will not
maybe
excuse
entirely.
owls. I will not excuse the owl's
Okay,
presence.
what's I don't really okay. I missed that part of the movie in its whole, so I can't really speak. I want to see the movie again. I like this isn't a I want to see it to understand it. I want to support this movie. I support the artists for basically saving this movie
I don't
for one
support
thing.
them. I don't support them.
And
It was all a ploy. It's a conspiracy. They had a better design. They had the better design. They put an awful design in the trailer.
but they didn't have that better design because the guy that was in charge of Sonic Mania said that they contacted him after for the redesign.
He's in on it too.
So I really hope, but seriously, it's because that studio or one of the studios that was working on it is gone now. I hope those people all found work because they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
The effects were solid in this film. I really liked the way it all looked. Was pretty good. Worked pretty well.
Well, it's just I've heard so much good things about like Sonic fans will love this movie, all this. It's actually a good movie, good video game movie, and then, but I just can't help but think that the people who sat down to make this movie, they settled on that original design. They were like, this is a good idea. And only after the backlash did they realize it wasn't a good idea. So does that sound... It doesn't sound like a group of people who have Sonic fans' best intentions in mind going into it. It's not like they reframed the whole movie. It's like...
Yeah, it's kind of strange because that means that the framework of the movie was still solid. It's just that horrible. If you listen to it was kind of the director's choice because if you I felt like I read some with some people that said not every was on board with that design, but the studio wanted, and that's because they thought it would appeal for some reason because studios are morons, and that's what the director wanted. He thought that was the best fit. So, but then he realized that he was wrong once the reaction came out.
Meow. Yeah. All right. Well, Tarqaron scores 6 out of 10. People are calling it the best video game movie.
I would still say
Nonsense.
Detective Pikachu is better than the movie, but
yeah.
I like it a lot. I think it's nice to see that we're finally in a period of time where video game movies can actually be okay instead of like horrible garbage. So that's nice.
Wreck-It Ralph was the best video game movie.
Yeah, it's hard to call. I mean, because it's original property that uses a lot of old game stuff in it.
Yeah.
Is it a video game movie? Kinda. I bet in the same way than Tron, the original Tron, is a video game. Tron Legacy are both video game movies, and I think those are way better than any of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'd even be as controversial as to say I don't think it's necessarily a better movie, that I like Tron more than I like Wreck-It Ralph. Controversial statement.
Okay.
I'm a big Tron stan. Oh, you'll probably be like, why does Alec like this so much? And I don't know. I really like Tron, and Tron Legacy is actually a really good movie. But anyway,
so
that's Sonic the Hedgehog. Maybe we'll watch Tron later. That'd be fun.
Sonic. I mean, Sonic and the Secret Rings. We reviewed. That got a what score? Something low.
Like a 3 or a
4.
Like a 4 or something.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
And here we are at a 6 for Sonic the Hedgehog. We're moving up.
Yeah. How about that?
But this is Just I feel like I'm in an alternate reality here
Yeah, I
from
feel like
everyone
you
else.
are. I feel like you are. You need to reevaluate your life choices, Zach.
I expected the internet to back me up. Usually, the internet will call out cringy humor, cringy movies. They didn't
Well,
back me up this time.
Sonic is kind of cringe, like to a certain demographic. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at the uncomfortable stuff that the Sonic fandom has spawned, and it's not just the fandom's fault. It's partially in fault of Sonic in general. So I'd say that's more again a little bit more Dreamcast era and the Sonic comics fault than anything. But
I guess I'm not enough of a gamer to appreciate this movie. Apparently, gamers love this movie.
I'm not like a super diehard Sonic fan either. But
Hmm.
I really liked it.
All right.
I
Well,
recommend it. Go see it if you're a Sonic fan. If not, then you probably will be like Zach. And I mean, I don't want to say you're not a Sonic fan because you said whatever, but you'll also some people will be like, why is this? Why do people like this movie? Some
hmm.
people will probably say that. I don't know, but anyway.
This movie's better than Rise of Skywalker, apparently. So here we are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Yes.
if I go that far.